Alrighty, we're back with another give and take, this time with a self-described matchmaker who's trying to educate women on the realities of men. And I gotta say, she gets close. She gets real close, but she doesn't quite get there. But first, let's see what she has to say, shall we?
If there's one big thing that I wish I had known in my 20s and 30s before I became a matchmaker and learned the truth about men, it is this. Hang on.
Ooh, is anyone else shaking with anticipation?
They will date you. They will ask you out. They will go through the motions that make it seem like they're genuinely interested, even when they're not.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here and say, I want you to pay attention to her phrasing. She's talking about men, and I want you to keep that she's talking about men in the back of your mind as we continue to listen, because I'm going to show you it's actually the fatal flaw in her entire argument. Let's continue.
They'll sleep with you, they'll pursue you, and they have other reasons beyond being authentically interested in you as a person.
Now, I'm going to bet most of the guys watching this have already figured out where I'm going to go with this, because it's blatantly obvious to the guys the type of men she's talking about. The ladies, not so much. Which is why, ladies, you need to keep listening, because I'm going to educate you and show you why she's right, but also wrong, and why most of you make the exact same mistake.
Okay, so there's just a lot of men out there that, sadly, and there's great guys out there too, don't get me wrong. I know a ton of great guys, but we're talking about the guys I want you to watch out for, ladies.
The guys you should look out for are the ones y'all keep chasing because you're attracted to them. Hopefully you see where I'm going, ladies. I just gave you a real big hint, but let's see what else she has to say first.
Which are those guys that will waste your time, take advantage of a situation because they can.
Because they can. Yet another hint for you.
And a lot of ladies buy into it. They like the attention, so they lap it up. And these guys know you are the woman that would lap it up, so they do it, all right?
Oh, she's 100% right there, ladies. And I hope you're paying attention right now. Because the phrase she used, I actually like. She said guys, not men. Because you see, there are guys like that. They're the top 10% that you all keep chasing. The ones you want, not the ones you're rejecting who are the actual men. What I'm talking about is the Chads and Kyles that you're all going after. As I said, that top tier, that top 5 to 10% of guys that 80% of you think you deserve. That group of men that can have any woman they want, yet you think they're going to want you even though you aren't in the top 10%. Oh, sure, they'll sleep with you. They'll play games with you to get you to sleep with them, knowing full well that you'll, as she said, lap it up and then toss you aside once they've achieved their conquest. The sad part is you ladies, including the woman that made this video, equate that to all men. Or more precisely, you label it as the men worth having. When the reality is the overwhelming majority of you could never have them. Not in a million years. Because those guys are in the top 5 or 10%, and most of you watching this are not in the top 5 or 10% of women. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be real with you. You all think you deserve the best, but unless you can match that energy, match that level, and then maintain it for the rest of your life, which very, very, very few people can, you're not. You're average. And yet, you're the ones rejecting the guys who match you, who are also average, because they're not good enough. Think about it for a second, ladies. If the average man isn't good enough, not worthy enough for you to be in a relationship with, why in God's name would you think as an average woman that you are worthy enough to get one of these Chads? Yet, you all do. And you make that mistake over and over and over again. Remember what the definition of insanity is. It applies here. But let's get to that fatal flaw. The one these matchmakers or dating coaches inevitably make over and over again. The one that goes like this.
I need you to raise your standards, ladies.
No, ladies, it needs to be the exact opposite. Because you have all raised your standards to absolutely absurd levels. Ones that no man, not even the Chads, can meet. You think you deserve the perfect man. That perfect prince from the Disney movies. And the ones you see in all those romance novels and rom-coms. They don't exist. They never have. And they never will. And that's a reality you need to hear and take to heart. And yet, I know most of you won't, which is why you're going to end up alone, because you've taken advice of relationship coaches and matchmakers like this, who have fooled you into believing that you can get something that does not exist. He never has, and he never will.